When it is about friendly nations, many Indians tend to think of Russia, Japan and Israel. The general perception is that these three countries are likely to have the least negative sentiment about India. So how true is that?
India is a nation that has been subjected to a great amount of negative stereotyping by the media. However, only 33% of the Mexican respondents thought of India's influence in the world as being negative, which puts Mexico in fifth position for having the least negative opinion towards India among the participating nations. India and Mexico are both recipients of considerable civilizational heritages and associations that date back several centuries. Legend has it that an Indian princess, Mira, landed in Mexico in the 17th century and is known there as Santa Catarina. Many people also associate Greece with its ancient civilization, and it has been in contact with India for over 2,500 years. Also, Greece has been routinely supportive of India's foreign policies. Greece and Turkey do not have the friendliest relationship, which could be significant for India. In the survey, only 27% of the Greek respondents thought negatively about India's influence. There are currently around 80,000 people of Indian origin residing in a lively community in Kenya, and they have a prominent role in the development of the country. Historically, key figures of the Indian community in Kenya worked diligently in the African nation's struggle for independence. Only 26% of the Kenyan respondents thought negatively about India's global influence, which ranks them as one of the three countries with the least negative opinion of India. For 2 millennia, India and Indonesia have shared common cultural and business contacts. As a result, many faiths of Buddhist, Hindu and eventually Muslims traveled from the shores of India to Indonesia. In relation to the attitude that Indonesians have towards India's influence in the world, a mere 18% of them view it as being mainly negative. It comes as no surprise that Russia was recorded as having the least negative opinion of India's influence, with only 10% of them viewing India's influence negatively. Indians may not be very happy to hear this, but out of all the countries surveyed, Germany had the lowest percentage of respondents that thought of India's influence as being mainly positive. Only 1% of the respondents in Germany thought of India's influence as being a good one, which ranks them even lower than Pakistan, which had 11% of its respondents answer that they consider India's influence to be mainly positive. Germany and Mexico are equal in their opinion of India, with 33% of the respondents thinking that India's influence in the world is negative. Fascinatingly, the survey also uncovered that all Indians do not consider India's global influence to be positive either. 4% of Indian respondents believe that India is negatively influencing the world. It might be just a bit too much to expect that the countries like Mexico, Greece, Kenya or Indonesia would completely fall in love with India. But if India improves its diplomatic efforts and develops its global media outreach, many of these nations' citizens that have yet to form a negative viewpoint of India may get to see what India really stands for. The Indian High Commissions in these countries should play a prominent role in these dealings. See you again.